Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And y'all seem to really love our Street Fighter video that we talked about, the cast getting revealed, or at least the majority of the cast getting revealed by the director out there on his Instagram. And I thought that was really cool, and I love it, and I'm excited about this movie. I hope they do a good job. It seems to have all of the right kind of people involved with it. It seems like they're being very respectful of the lore, and so far the casting's been pretty good as well. Not everything hits, but you know what? That's just the way things go. I love the 90s movie. I thought it was an absolute blast. I thought it was a fun romp despite all of the kind of backlash and criticism it gets out there. And I think the majority of fans out there agree with that statement out there. Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, now to expand on that and to give you the full-blown cast list, well, it's been officially announced. It's out there in the world. And in case for some reason you missed it, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a full-blown rundown on this one, as well as the fun way they decided to announce this cast as well, because of course they would decide to reference classic Street Fighter tropes. And honestly, that's a beautiful thing to see out there in a time where we have dealt with so many reimaginings and remakes for the modern audience out there. It's so nice to see a lot of the kind of nostalgia come back, going back there and showing honor to the legacy that has come before you, that excites fans out there and kind of gets them in and knows that you're going to be part of this kind of stuff, that you represent that, and that you appreciate all of that kind of stuff out there. Obviously, we've seen a million bad adaptations out there over the past, well, forever, especially coming out of Hollywood. So it's nice to see something that at least at the outset looks faithful. So hopefully, boys and girls, all of us Street Fighter fans out there will be in for an awful good ride. So we're going to check this article from CosmicBook.news, getting all the juicy details of the full list of cast, their announcements, their pictures, and of course, what my just quick little thoughts on each and every one of them are. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,100. We're inching our way closer and closer to 22. I know the YouTube algorithm's been absolutely insane, but we're on our way to 100,000, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, there's a comment in the section down below later what you think about all of this. Are you excited about this cast? Or who do you like from this casting? Who do you not? Are you excited about this movie? Or are you cautiously optimistic? Or are you terrified that this is going to end up being an abysmal adaptation like we have seen come out of Hollywood so much over the last few years? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below, because as always, all opinions are welcome. And if you'd like to support the channel, check out the links in the description as well. All right, from Patrick Scanlon over there at CosmicBook.news. Street Fighter movie official cast announced and a release date is set. Woo! Yeah, boys and girls, let's get to it. Fans have been waiting for decades for a new live-action Street Fighter since the 1994 camp classic starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia, rest in peace, Kylie Minogue, really? That was her in that? And Ming-Na Wen. I mean, come on, that movie was incredible. I had no idea that was Kylie Minogue. I really don't know anything about Kylie Minogue other than the fact that she was in Street Fighter and the fact that her name gets around there. But that's dope. That's awesome. That's really cool. And Raul Julia, I mean, come on. Bison, his portrayal of Bison was just chef's kiss. Absolute masterpiece. That guy was so good. They just did an incredible job on that movie. It's so much fun. It was so much fun. Now, Legendary Pictures has revealed the official cast and release date for the long-awaited adaptation. The new film is set in 1993. Estranged Street Fighter Ryu and Ken Masters are thrown back into combat when the mysterious Chun-Li recruits them for the next World Warrior Tournament, a brutal clash of fists, fate, and fury, which honestly sounds like they're sticking a little bit more to the lore of the Street Fighter game, which is obviously something they kind of diverted from, essentially, in the 1994 movie out there, but it was still a great time, and I think the characters were represented very well in the movie, especially as they are shown in the games out there. I thought that was spot on for that kind of stuff, so yeah, of course. Because honestly, this was at the time where like the Mortal Kombat stuff was still really popular as well. And at the Mortal Kombat movie, it literally would have felt like a literal repeat and rip off of that at the time. So who knows? They were trying to go for their own thing. And I appreciate that. Behind the Battle Royale lies a deadly conspiracy that forces the fighters to face off against each other and the demons of their past. If they don't, it's game over.
Daddy,
There we go. I knew I'd find the right button eventually, boys and girls. All right, so official cast. Andrew Koji as Ryu, Noah Centino as Ken Masters, Kalina Liang as Chun-Li, and we're going to get to their pictures here in just a second, so if you don't recognize any of the names, it's okay. David Dashmalin as M. Bison, Orville Peck as Vega, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson as Balrog. Honestly, I think he looks great. Balrog's a boxer. Curtis 50 Cent has got that build of the boxer look. I think he's going to do a great job. I've seen some of his acting work in the past. I think he's a good actor, so I'm excited for his Balrog. Andrew Schultz as Dan Hibagi, Jason Momoa as Blanca. Like, Jason Momoa is a great character actor. He does good, especially as like crazy over-the-top kind of monster characters, and Blanca is definitely at that. So I'm excited to see how he does that. I'm super excited for his Lobo in DC. So yeah, shout out to Jason Momoa. I hope this ends up being done well for him. Roman Reigns as Akuma, probably end up doing a good job as that. Cody Rhodes as Guile. I think he looks very well the part for that one as well, especially if you saw our last video with like the little bleach hair and everything else on the boat. Vidit Jamal as Dalsalim, Haruka Godo as E. Honda, Olivia Richardson as Zangief, Rand Valdeman as Julie, Mel Jardison as Cammy, and Eric Andre as Dawn Savage. So the film will be directed by Kito Sakurui, Bad Trip, and Twisted Metal. Although I haven't got a chance to watch Twisted Metal because it's on Peacock, I've heard nothing but good things about Twisted Metal, so that gives me some good optimism there. Who replaced Danny and Mikola Filippo? It will hit theaters on October 16th, 2026 through Legendary's new global distribution deal with Paramount Pictures. So there you go, boys and girls. This one will end up being a Paramount Pictures distribution service, so you'll end up seeing it on Paramount Plus eventually out there as well. And like I said, that's a really great thing out there. I like this. So we only got about a year before we get to see this movie, which means we'll get much more. We'll get trailers and stuff like that, probably sometime around spring, early summer of next year. If not, maybe even a little sooner, just depending on how excited Paramount is about this movie. And honestly, Paramount's done a pretty good... I take that back. I'm thinking about Halo all of a sudden. But needless to say, a lot of things have changed over there at Paramount over the last few years, boys and girls, especially with like Skydance and everything else. And either way, Legendary does a good job. I like Legendary stuff, and they're the really people behind this. Paramount's just distributing it. The movie is co-developed and co-produced with Capcom, the creators of the video game series, which of course is going to happen anytime you get the rights for something like this. So first launched in 1987, Street Fighter has become one of the most iconic fighting franchises in gaming history, selling over 55 million units worldwide. And honestly, considering some of the new skins that they have in the Street Fighter game, definitely has had a much better staying ability than Mortal Kombat, considering some of the paths Mortal Kombat has decided to walk down with some of their latest iterations. Yeah, Street Fighter hasn't done that. They've stuck to what works, and a lot of fans are very happy with that. And trust me, the new skins, you want to go check them out. The series is built around one-on-one battles and the World Warrior Tournament, often tied to the villainous Shadaloo organization led by M. Bison. With this cast and Sakura at the helm, fans are finally getting a new live-action Street Fighter with the potential to become a blockbuster tournament of its own. And I'd love to see that. I think that's a great idea. So here we've got Andrew Koji as Ryu right here. I can see this work out very well. Give him the shaggy hair he needs. Won't be a problem at all for that kind of thing out there as well. Noah Centino as Ken. He's already got the shaggy long blonde hair. We saw that in some of with the boat video, all that kind of stuff. So he at least looks the part and can probably end up pulling this off really well. I mean, they've even got the eyebrows spot on from the game out here. Rayanne Value as Julie. Another great character right there. Don't think there'll be any problems with that. If they dye her hair red, that'll make me even happier because, of course, you know, we've got a real issue with the erasure of redheads out there. And you know what? It'll be okay. She's supposed to be of German origin out there. Give her the red hair. It'll be believable. It'll be all right out there. Orville Peck as Vega from Spain. We'll see how he looks as the character. Not sure I'm a big fan of the look they've got for him so far. We'll see what happens with that one. We'll see what happens with that one out there as well. You'd think you maybe would have picked somebody with a more Spanish name. I don't know. We'll see what goes on with this one. Mel Jardison as Cammy. Lovely actress out there. Probably end up pulling off the rope. Doesn't have blue eyes, but we'll see how all that kind of stuff works out as well. Eric Andre as Don Savage. Not as familiar with Don Savage's character, but so far we'll look the part. He's willing to get beefy. He'll end up being okay as well. Now, David Dastmalchian as M. Bison. Now, is he as big as he probably needs to be for the character of M. Bison? No. But David is an incredible actor, right? I'm super excited about his role in One Piece and the live action coming up for that one. And honestly, Raul Julia didn't have the build for M. Bison back in 94 either, and still crushed it as the role. So does he necessarily look the part per se? Is he gonna be big and broad-shouldered as what we've seen in the video games? Probably not. But can he pull off an imposing villain that is believable? Yes. So I am optimistic about that one, about that casting for sure on that one. Canali Lang as Chun-Li, lovely actress. Looks like she'll end up probably pulling off that one very well as well. Andrew Schultz as Dom Hibikagi. We'll see how that one goes over there. Roman Reigns as Akuma. I mean, Roman Reigns is a monster. The guy is absolutely huge. And I know Akuma's kind of a little bit more of a, especially for those of us who grew up in the 90s, a little bit more of a recent addition to the games out there. But I mean, just sheer size alone, you couldn't have asked for a better guy than Roman Reigns out there for that one as well. Alexander Vandercoxy as Joe. I don't know anything about Joe out there either. He's a USA character out there. 50 Cent as Balrog. Obviously, we've already talked about that. I think he's going to do a good job. Oliver Richards as Zangief. Okay, we saw the picture of Oliver Richards on the on the boat. Dude's a monster. He's huge. Like, you could have not asked for a better big monster of a Russian than Oliver here. Like, he's going to do an incredible job of this one. Hiroko Goto as E Honda. How big's he going to get? I don't know, but it'll be fascinating to see with that one, boys and girls, especially when we get our first trailer out there. But I'm excited about this movie. I'll just be honest. I'm excited about this movie. I'm beyond cautiously optimistic. So far, everything looks good. I love the 94 movie, and honestly, that's all we need. We just need a good adaptation where the characters act like the way we know them to be in the games, like what we saw in the 94 movie out there, and just have a good time overall. You don't beat us over the head with a bunch of nonsense. Don't have a bunch of girl boss garbage, because you've got a bunch of strong female characters already in this game, already in this adaptation to use that is completely and totally believable. So you don't need any of that nonsense. You don't need to downgrade the male characters. You just need to have everybody on a good level playing field and have a grand old time. It's just a good basic action fighting movie. This isn't rocket science in any way, shape, or form. Just have the cast act like the characters act in the games. Give us good sets. Give us good fight scenes. Make it believable. If it's a little cheesy, fine. No big deal. It's a video game adaptation. We don't mind a little cheese. If you get a little ridiculous, to make sure everybody gets their favorite sayings in, to make sure that all of the fun characters do all their fun little weird obvious tropes and stuff like that. We don't have a problem with that. What we have a problem with is when you talk down to us, when you treat us like idiots, when you accuse us of being all of these kind of horrible, untoward things because we don't agree with one of your castings. Treat the fans right, respect us, and give us a good adaptation that at least looks believable, and at least you're trying to honor the legacy of what we love. And in this case, Street Fighter, then we're willing to give you a shot. Keep the budget low, and you might even make a profit, because the Street Fighter fans are still a very large, dominant portion of the culture out there, and if you make them happy, they will make you rich. But if you decide to go down the path that so much of the rest of Hollywood has, well, you all know what happens. You dance with the devil, you're going to get burned. But as of right now, boys and girls, everything is looking like the Street Fighter movie should be a green lit to go to actually end up making the fans happy and actually end up being a good adaptation. At the end of the day, that's all fans really want. So let's see what you can pull off, Street Fighter. Everything looks good so far, but it wouldn't be the first time Hollywood has fooled us. Now would it, boys and girls? A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.